Hi, I'm Ric Burnley, editor of Kayak Angler magazine, and I'm here today with a bunch of lights that we tested out in the winter issue of the magazine. The United States Coast Guard says that paddlers have to have a single white light if they're going to be out after dark, but of course common sense tells you that you need a whole lot more than just that if you're going to be fishing after dark. And if you happen to be on one of the new motorized kayaks, then you're going to need even more lights. So let's go over some of your light options for illuminating the kayak. We said single white light after dark is all you're required to carry, and so we found a really cool one this year. This is a flashlight by Princeton Tech, just a waterproof, small handheld incandescent AA battery flashlight, slam resistant, and the rest of it bright enough to be a good flashlight for what you need a flashlight for, but add this little cap here and it suddenly diffuses the light into a softer white light, and that's nice for lighting up interior spaces. And also this qualifies as your single white light. You can almost use this, you could use this as your white nav light at night. Great, super waterproof again, and tough light. Then they've also designed this new gadget for kayaks, and it's a track mounted base that you can put the light in, mount it on your track, screw it down, tighten it up, and then it becomes your sing nav light in a pinch. It's also pretty cool. A lot of crates today, you can mount a gear track inside the crate, and I keep one of these inside the crate on a gear track, and that way I've got lighting in my crate at night. Makes it easier for me to find tackle and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Again, if this is all you're going to be carrying on the kayak, just to stay legal, single white light that to use on your kayak at night with a gear track mount. That's by Princeton Tech. Good stuff there. It's the AMP1 is what it's called. And of course, one of the most popular of all time navigation lights for kayak anglers has been the Yak Attack's Visi Carbon Pro, and it comes in several different models. This one is a folding, collapsible model that I carry in my crate all the time. If I get caught out after dark, it's easy to snap together. Boom, you're on the water and you're ready to go. The cool thing is this padded handle at the bottom actually is big enough to fit in a rod holder, so it goes tight into a rod holder and it doesn't flop around. The pole is made out of carbon fiber. It's super light, super thin, so it doesn't catch the wind or anything, whistle or anything like that behind you, and keeps the weight down. And of course you got a high-powered flashlight on the end with this diffuser, and also orange and reflective tape on the end too, so it's just as good for daytime visibility as nighttime visibility. A lot of times I'll use this, of course, in the fog, but in those dawn and dusk hours where it's really the hardest for boaters and other people on the water to see you, a nav light like this is just enough to catch their attention, and something you shouldn't be caught without on the boat. And of course this folding light by Yak Attack makes it real easy to keep it with you. It also has a gear track head on the bottom of it, so you can just hook it onto a gear track. It's ready when you are. I mentioned earlier that if you are in one of these new motorized powered kayaks, well, suddenly you're now a motorboat. A lot of states you have to be registered, and you have to keep up your registration and the rest on the boat like you would on any motorboat, and you're also required to follow the rules that motorboats are required. And one of those, of course, is that you have a green and red navigation light on the bow of your boat to signal to other boaters which side of the boat they're approaching you on. If they see your red light, they know they're coming at you from the left-hand side of the boat. Same with the green light. And this is cool. This is Illuminati made by Railblaza, and so it fits in any one of the Railblaza mounts. You can use one of their flush mounts on the bow of your kayak, stick this in after dark and you're legal, and then during the daytime just pop it out, and there's no more obstructions on your kayak that would be there. It's pretty neat too, because you can use it either green and red together, or red or green, nothing there, and waterproof and really tough. And again, this is the solution if you're in one of these motorized kayaks. This is your solution right here. This will keep you legal, having your green and red nav light on the bow. Another safety light that's something I carry with me everywhere I go and never use, and you want to have something that's low profile and you'll forget that you got it until you need it, is a safety strobe. And this one is made, this is the Firefly Pro by ACR. I've had it for years. I carry it in the pocket of my PFD. Like I said, I don't even think about it when I don't need it, and luckily I haven't needed it, but you turn this on and it sends out different strobe signals, from SOS to just flashing strobe, and different patterns and such like that. But the most important thing is that it's a reliable waterproof strobe, runs on AA batteries, and it's there when you need it. Again, it fits right in your PFD. It doesn't take up any extra room or really a whole lot of weight, and again, it's a reliable safety strobe when you need it. And if anybody sees this going off out in the water, they know there's something trouble and they're going to hopefully come right away. Speaking of lights that I carry with me all the time on the water, this is my own personal headlamp. This is the Petsatika Pro, and this thing has had a lot of miles and a lot of nights of fishing on it. The reason I use this one is a couple of good reasons. First of all, it's got a dozen different lighting settings on it, from high power to low power, red lights, red high, flashing red, flashing white, everything you can imagine. But it also has a setting where the light can detect how far the target is away that it's lighting. So if I have it on and I'm working on, tying a lure in my kayak, it dims the light so it's not as bright. But then if I look up and, try to spot a buoy in the distance, it'll actually intensify the beam and burn brighter for something farther distance away. Pretty cool science. It works pretty good. Takes some getting used to. To be honest, I just use the regular white light most of the time, and it comes in 3 different phases. The other thing I really like about this light is that it has an option to run on either a rechargeable battery or on AAAs. And so I use the rechargeable battery most of the time, and I have the AAAs in a pack, in my bag, so that if I forget to charge it up, or they run out on the water, which never happens as long as there's a good charge. I've never had them run out, but should they happen to run out on the water, I got the battery backups to go in there and keep me fishing. Great light, waterproof light. I love the strap on this too. It's got kind of a cradle in the back of the strap that hugs the back of your head to keep it from sliding around, and real comfortable to wear all night long. This thing's got a lot of hours on it. Another light that I started carrying with me this year all the time is a new light by Petzl, and this is the E-Light. And this is a great emergency backup light. Last thing you want to do is be out on the water, realize you left your headlamp at home, or what happens to me is I'm out on the water and I take my hat off and there goes the headlamp into the water. So this is a great backup light to carry in your bag anywhere you go. Comes in this water resistant container and then just folds right out, and it's an amazingly bright lamp, and it's got a dozen settings, again, red, flashing red, white, 2 or 3 different levels of white light, and it's waterproof, super tough, super small, as you can see. It even folds up in the base, so you can set it down on something and use it as like a little spotlight, or fold this on your head to aim the light on your head to where you need it to go, so you don't lose any of that functionality just because it's a tiny little light. And small lightweight band, that just kind of bolo ties behind your head. But another cool thing is it comes with a safety whistle too, and this is another item you should never be caught on the water without. Another thing I carry in my PFD at all times is a P-less whistle. To signal people, a lot of times people don't see you. You can signal them with a whistle. They'll hear you, or if you're in the fog or what have you, they can find you. It's another thing you need to carry with you. And with this one, you get 2 lights, or two things with 1 light. Not last yet. So on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of guys, especially in these bigger pedal kayaks and full-size fishing kayaks, are rigging the insides of their kayaks up with lights so that they can fish after dark and still see what they're doing. A lot of stand-up paddleboarders and kayakers are also rigging LED lights underneath of their kayaks. Not only is it fun to paddle around with the lights, but if you take your family out, you can keep an eye out on them out in the water at night, see everybody with the lights, shining in the water. And they might act as a fish attractant. I haven't tried it. In some places it's illegal, but it could be a fish attracting light as well. So pretty cool little system. And this is the Nokia light, and it is built to do just that. It's built to go in the water, under the kayak, under the stand-up paddleboard. It's dang on near indestructible. LED lights. It runs on a lithium-ion battery, rechargeable, which will also run your fish finder and stuff like that. And really bright, white, LED light, indestructible, waterproof, and perfect for kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. And last but not least, you know, powering all these lights is another problem that you have on the kayak and fish finders and, you know, nav lights and everything else, GPSs, and charging your phone and all the other needs that you have for a battery on the water. Well, Wilderness Systems has come up with a lithium-ion battery this year that's designed specifically for kayak anglers. It's got the small USB ports, then it's got 2 regular sized USB ports, and then it also has a 9 volt, 12 volt out too, so you can, you know, plug this in and hook it up to a small fish finder GPS unit and power that. And this is the lithium-ion battery by Wilderness Systems. It's light, it will power several devices all day long without worry, even for a weekend, and you know, waterproof and pretty indestructible. We've been using it this year and haven't broken it yet, so I guess it's certified. But anyway, lithium-ion battery by Wilderness Systems. And you know, just some of the lights that you need to think about carrying with you on the kayak, not only to stay safe, but to fish better, be more comfortable, and having a more enjoyable outing. I'm Ric Burnley from Kayak Angler magazine, and you're hooked up.